आज दही बड़ा खाने का मन है।
वाह क्या स्वाद!
असली स्वाद तो MDH दही बड़ा रायता मसाले से ही आता है।
Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, there is a huge crackdown taking place across India against a vast nexus of individuals working against India's national interests. Some call them overground workers, some call them influencers, some claim to be influencers, some have turned out to be spies for Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, there are various groups. These are sleeper cells. Anybody working against India's national interest is an anti-national. Now they say, how can you use a semantic like that? I want to ask you, what should I call a person who is working against the interests of my country? What is wrong if I call them anti-nationals? What is wrong? Let's debate.
They live and hide among us. They look like us, act like us, but they work with interests inimical to India's national interest, but no more. In a massive crackdown against the overground workers in Kashmir Valley, the forces have successfully arrested over 450 overground workers. Yes, you have heard that right. Involved in all sorts of activities, from allegedly transporting arms and ammunitions to conducting reconnaissance or sensitive location for handlers in Pakistan. The sleeping faces of these terror associates are now revealed, not just for the valley, but for the world to see. Meanwhile, the crackdown on inimical influencers continues. Jyoti Malhotra has been sent to 4 days of police remand today. She is in the middle of a massive Pakistan-linked influencer spy scandal, passing on sensitive information to intelligence agencies in Pakistan. In another big development, UPATS has arrested one Mohammad Tufail on charges of spying for Pakistan. As per the ATS, he was involved in sharing pictures of critical places like Gyanvapi and Red Fort to Pakistani numbers. But the threat is not just from external forces. In a massive clampdown on red terror, DRG in Chhattisgarh neutralized 27 dreaded Maoist terrorists. This crackdown also neutralized top Maoist terrorist Basavaraju, who had 1 crore bounty on his head. From the deepest of caves in the most dense forest of Chhattisgarh, each piece of ammunition is being recovered. No OGW or Maoist terrorist is safe from India's mighty forces on their charge to clear out all inimical adversaries. The big question remains: after action on Pakistani spies, after action on Maoist terrorists, is it time for direct action on the urban sleeper cells that act as an invisible arm of the adversary?
Starting this with Aditya Gupta and Shazia. Aditya Gupta is a PDP leader from Srinagar. Aditya, would you agree that we need to take on anti-nationals now in India? We need to identify the anti-nationals. We need to, bring down the anti-national framework in this country as per the rule of law. And anybody can be an anti-national, like Maoists are anti-nationals, pro-Maoists are anti-nationals. Afzal Guru supporters, Yaqub Memon supporters, fake human rights activists, Pakistani spies, Tukde Tukde Brigade, Bharat Tere Tukde Honge Brigade, urban Naxals. All these people are anti-nationals, like overground workers in Kashmir are also anti-nationals. And anti-nationals, Aditya, are also can be called sleeper cell, which means they are sleeping, but someday they will come out to break the country. So do you agree that from OGWs in Kashmir to pro-urban Naxal groups, all these groups must now be identified and this infrastructure broken and torn apart once and for all?
Good evening, Arnab, and good evening, Shavya. See, first of all, Arnab, I come from Jammu, not Srinagar. So that is one thing I always try to correct.
It's a slip, please.
People basically forget. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, no, I take it. I take it. I strongly believe that, see, the time has come when the government of India and the agencies and the authorities have to take stronger action so that we do not suffer what we have suffered in Pahalgam. The time has come when we really have to identify those who are actually the support for the terrorists which come from across the border. We need to identify that, but with one caution. See, post Pahalgam, roughly 3,000 people were detained. I'm sure the government must have identified, but these 3,000, when you detain these people, it's a trauma to any person who is detained, and especially to the person who has nothing to do with any kind of terror or any criminal activity.
How do you know they have
So
nothing
the
to do?
government
How do we know
How
that?
do you know they have nothing to do? No, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Even
How do you know they have nothing to do?
It can
How do you know that?
see 3,000. Arnab, you can ask the government of Jammu and Kashmir. They detained 3,000 people. How many people have they left after that? See, the detention for 1 day also or 2 days also, alleging that, see, you are doing something which is against the country, and a person who basically loves the country. Isn't it a trauma?
How do you know
Isn't
they
it a social
basically
trauma?
love the
So, of
country?
course,
1 minute.
it's because you have to tread very carefully.
1 minute. Waris
There
is
is
with
no-
us now. Shazia, my question is.
I just want to say one thing.
Okay, Shazia is
during
coming in.
the
Yeah,
Spanish
Shazia.
Civil War, during the Spanish Civil War, 36 to 39, you'll know about it, Arnab. I would like to tell Aditya. There was this group of people who worked for the adversary nation or groups and believed in sabotaging their own. They were called the fifth column. So yes, whether you want to call them the sleeper cell or workground workers or the fifth column, yes. And I'm afraid to say there are those who are pushing the Pakistan agenda and narrative. They are trying to do what Pakistan is prompting them to do and ask questions that undermine India's sovereignty, questions that undermine our stand on terrorism and what transpired during Operation Sindoor. And there are political parties out there who are actually questioning India and asking questions that no nationalist would ever dream to ask, and also questioning the armed forces. So I think it's the fifth column. They are working.
Well,
They are
may I come
Pak propagandists. And you're talking about media. There is a Sino-Pak sleeper cell formation, and I think there are parties. The biggest opposition party in India is very much behaving like a Pak propagandist at this point of time. So let's not go further.
Okay.
Let's look right there at the kind of questions and the way they push Pakistan agenda this time, to the dismay of so many of us, including some of the own Congress members.
What is happening
There are
now?
Congress members who are not for it,
Yeah.
and that is a reality.
Yeah, what is happening now is interesting.
May I come in, Arnab, or
And
should
Waris,
we just-
may I ask you a question before you come in, please? Thank you. Just a question for you, Waris, because you've taken a good
Yeah.
position vis-a-vis Pakistan. Now, here is what I would like to see you do. I would like you to also take a firm position on Afzal Guru, on Yaqub Memon, right? On Burhan Wani, on supporters of terrorist groups, whether the terrorist groups are Jaish-e-Mohammed or Hamas. I would also like you to take on people who celebrate when Pakistan wins cricket. Listen to me. I would like you to take on people who say, Bharat tere tukre honge, inshallah, inshallah. Because you see, I want to be sure of your intentions. If you're pro-India, you must be pro-India versus external enemies and internal enemies. You understand, Waris? India's internal enemies are also bad.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So please, over to you.
So, Arnab, we condemn all kind of terrorism and terrorist activities. It is not now. We have been condemning it since long, and we always say that we are against terrorism. We are against all kind of violence, and whosoever supports the terrorists also, we are against them. See, after Pahalgam, when the Pahalgam incident took place, we were the person who said that those people who came here in Pahalgam, those terrorists, there are few words I cannot even describe them. They came here, innocent tourists. They asked their names, they asked their religion, they told them to pray kalma, and in front of their wives, children, in cold-blooded, they murdered them. So we condemn them wholeheartedly. Whosoever supports them, we are not with them, and we stand with the country. That does not mean that I stand with the BJP or I stand with the Congress. I stand with my army who has been fighting, who went inside Pakistan, and within 25 minutes on the very first day, 9 terrorist camps were totally demolished and 100 of the terrorists were killed. So we salute our brave army. But here our nationalism and patriotism should not be challenged. See, we are not doing some skipping thing. किसी की चमचागिरी के लिए नहीं कर रहे हम लोग. We love our country. We are proud Bharatiya Musalman, and that is why I am making my point clear before the nation. And whosoever the sleeper cell is, whosoever is indulging in spy activities in the country must not be spared at any cost. And we have heard that when Jyoti Malhotra and others have been arrested, come from whichever religion. Whosoever is against my country, Bharat, we are against that person. Arnab,
Paris, they are doing it overtly. There are covert sleeper cells.
Will not be tolerable. And that is why, allow me, and that is why the delegation which is going there outside the country to the world. No, Shahji, allow me to make my point. Shahji, let me complete. No, Shahji, allow me to make my point. The delegation which is going, our party president is the member of the delegation, and I am sure when he goes there, he is going to Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait and Algeria. He will very well explain to the world that how Pakistan-sponsored terrorism is growing and we are the victims of it, and how 26/11 happened, how Pulwama happened, and now this Pahalgam incident. So the world must know that Pakistan has been since the beginning targeting our great nation. This time we were able to foil this bad intention. They wanted to create a communal disarmament between the Hindus and the Muslims. That is why they targeted by asking the religion of that person. They told him to repent kalma, and that what intentions were malafide. And I again say and reiterate that we are stand with the country. There's no place. When the question of national security comes, Arnab, 140
but national security is both. 1 minute. Waris, I want to go to Shazia, but I want to make my own point to you. See, remember, Waris. National security is internal security and external security both. And economic security and demographic security.
Both.
So when Sarjeel Imam says that we will turn chicken's neck, it's a Muslim area, use it to cut away from the northeast, from rest of the country, you must take an open position against Sarjeel Imam.
Yeah.
You must be against, say you are against Sarjeel Imam.
See, whosoever.
No, whosoever nahi.
I say whosoever uses such kind of words which are against our country, which is against the constitution, and he is already arrested, he is facing the trial. But why? The matter is sub judice pending before the court. There are many people who have used more derogatory statements. Arnab, देश के गद्दारों को dash. I don't want to go into that kind of things which the people have used, especially against the Muslims, Katmulla, Katwa. Such kind of statements are made against proud Bharatiya Muslims. Such kind of statements are made against the member of parliament who's been elected by the people.
I'm with you on that.
I don't want to agree.
I also believe that's wrong.
Presently, when the nation is together,
that's wrong.
When the nation is together, Arnab, we must talk about the nation. We must stand together. But nobody must take credit. We should not politicize the situation. We should not politicize the present situation going on in our country, whether this side or
I'm
that
saying
side.
that.
Whosoever is making
Okay,
any statement,
Shazia.
the Pakistan
Shazia, let us.
What does he make?
Shazia.
Mallikarjun Kharge says that was not a big war. वो तो छुटपुट सी war थी. Then there are spokesperson of Congress party who says, who asked serious questions about what we've lost, what are the assets that we have lost.
And Mehbooba Mufti says, Shazia, ये तो हमारी लड़ाई नहीं थी. What does she mean by saying that? Why does your party leader say, ये हमारी लड़ाई नहीं थी?
Very clear. It was very categorically said, don't you just pick half of it.
No, I've not taken half of it. The meaning was extremely explicit to me.
With regard
it was clear to me.
Punch, see, it was with regard to the people of Punch. She went to Punch. She visited like many other political parties and many other leaders reached. See, what happened now, though, if you remember the 2 children who died, the graves are dug in their own house. The houses have been raided with these shells. See, what should have been done? These people have suffered. This was a war in which what happens is the damage, the collateral which happened at least on our side.
Collateral damage and your leaders polarize, yours, Congress leaders.
With them. Yeah. And we stand with the army.
Yeah, but remain consistent.
Let us make it very clear. The army is
Waris, my worry about you,
the army is fighting for our country, Bharat, and we stand with them. So you cannot separate. You cannot just say that Indian army, we salute them. They are not fighting for the BJP,
Okay,
they are fighting for our country. They are brave army soldiers.
Absolutely.
And we salute them and we stand with them shoulder to shoulder.
Thanks to our
Nobody must take
army
credit that, okay, we are doing
Shazia.
it. I am
Not
doing
a
it.
single
Army is doing it for me. Army is
you know, not
no, army is our
every drone was
country's army.
intercepted.
When you
It
adore
did not
people,
touch
you
Indian
forget
soil.
about the politics.
And all of us, whether it's Poonch
No, no,
or Akhnur or Rajouri or
No question on the
Jaisalmer
army.
or
See,
even
nobody is questioning
So-
the army.
Amritsar, all of, can you
They are
imagine?
not questioning.
Aditya,
Drone could touch Indian soil. Can you
I
imagine?
Aditya.
This is our armed
No,
forces.
I will tell you. Shazia, in Jammu, area is Rehadi. The drone that was shot down fell on a house. People narrowly escaped. 25 cars were damaged.
Shazia.
Houses were damaged.
हमारी लड़ाई है.
In Roopnagar
Women have
area,
been widowed.
Roopnagar
Young
area
girls.
also the same thing
Only
happened.
because they were from a religion.
Aditya, when you're, I think this is a hot debate. Aditya, see, Aditya,
They should not have
Aditya, one sec. Aditya, can I speak to you? You're a reasonable young man. Listen to me, Aditya. The problem is, what is 1 minute, bhai? Why you, Aditya? The only problem I have, not with you, I have a severe problem when your leader says, "Ye hamari ladai nahi hai," and when Congress leader says, "Jab ladai hoti hai, who suffers?" Only people in Kashmir suffer, people in Tamil Nadu don't suffer, people in UP don't suffer. That is an attempt at creating a divide. See, we have big challenges. So I don't think Mahbooba Mufti should talk that language. She should change her line on it.
Now should I answer you? See, I told you. See, this is fact. When Shazia said that nothing touched the soil, see, we brought down whatever was sent towards us. It fell. There are places in Poonch where people have died. ADC.
No, you don't divide people and casualties on the basis of where they are from or their religion or language.
No, people, casualty, normal.
Yeah,
ADC
casualties have been there among armed forces also. The number of security forces who have died defending Jammu and Kashmir and defending the sovereignty of the country should not be divided on where they are from. There are people from Bihar, Tamil Nadu, everywhere in Andhra Pradesh. The victims of Pahalgam were from all over the country. So in this battle against terrorism and a terrorist state, all of us have suffered.
Exactly.
It should be
Arnab,
us.
Okay, I have to close this. But at 9 o'clock tonight, viewers, I'm coming back with a big debate and why I believe without a doubt, when it comes to national security, there is only one choice in the country. National security, it's Narendra Modi. When I'm back.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
लाल रंग इसका अपार, तीखा कम है फिर भी स्वाद, बेमिसाल बेमिसाल MDH कश्मीरी,
MDH कश्मीरी
MDH